Hello and welcome back to Feed the Beast Skies, a Minecraft mod, and this is episode 9. Today we're going to focus on this item specifically. There's two things. The wireless universal crafting grid, but it's a wireless universal grid, and that's going to work with refined storage. And then also the Tesla coil, which will help make the products for this quite easily. But it's a lot more complicated, so we're going to make it two different ways. So let's get into it. Also, a couple of side notes. My mic was not picking up the S sound, so I'm trying to adjust the mic and have it pick that up more clearly. And the other thing I wanted to show people is I expanded this out to 8 of the pure daisies. And this is a kind of neat way you can just kind of vein mine. Make sure it's on shapeless. There up in the top left. If I just hold that key down, pop that like that, and then pop that to the diamond wand, pick those up, hit that, and it replaces them. Pretty cool. And then it turns those into obsidian for me. And because we have the universal crafting grid right here, I call it that, but it's the wireless universal grid for refined storage. It's like an expanded item for this mod. It allows me to just press a key, open it up, toss the stuff right in there, and if I want another set, I can just grab another full set, make stuff from here. I don't have to go inside and craft in there. It's really a beautiful thing. That's why we're going to make this. Oh, pretty cool. We're going to make this grid now. So let's go over here. Getting taller and taller up there. Let's take a look. And for any of you wondering how to set up the keybind for that item, or this right here, just go into your options, controls, keybinds, go to category and type out grid. Let's see if I can actually type correctly. And then change this to whatever you'd like. And what I usually do is after I do that, I push the actual key here and I show any kind of conflicts. And I get rid of anything that, let's say this was had C on it as well. So I don't want any conflicts with a key. I just get rid of that when I escape out of it or whatever. And then there we go. So that's pretty nice. Let's go charge this thing up really quick as well. I just use this charger right over here. A charging station from Charging Gadgets. But you can use quite a few different ones. It's already done. And then we're going to put it in our baubles, and it doesn't even matter which one. And I can use it from over here. Pretty nice. So let's find out how to make that thing. I'm going to keep it right here for a second just to show us. So let's get the recipe for it. So already it looks a little complicated, but it's not too bad. You're going to need a wireless grid, and that's made with a regular grid. See how it keeps changing? You don't need a colored one in there. You can just use a regular grid. And we know how to make this from the last episode. And that's easy. Quartz enriched iron, that's easy. Okay. These are easy as well. A fluid one with a fluid. I think that's right there. Just a grid with that. Okay. What about this thing? Uh-oh, we're right back to our friends here. And that's with the inscriber. The inscriber is... I put the inscriber right upstairs. Right in here. I can just pop those right in there. And it spits them back out as the dust. Get the middle there. So it looks like we're going to need 24 plus another 24. 6 times 4. 6 times 4, those 24. So 48 of the of these things right here. Let's find out right of these. So we come over here, and normally we'd have to make, well, it looks like 24 of these. There's two ways you can do it. You can do it with a charger like that. We can put one of those in there. We'll just grab that one for now and pop it in there. And if you just turn the crank on top, you make a wooden crank and put it on there. If I look down at the bottom, it starts to charge up. Come on. There, it's crackling. Don't keep turning, otherwise you'll break the crank. And, oh, it turns it. You just take it out. But you'd have to do that 24 times. So there's, you could go that route. And then you'll have a whole big stack of these. And then to turn these into the purple ones, we just come over to a pool of water like this. We've done this in the last episode as well. I just toss that in there. And that in there. And that in there. And I step back. And I let it do its thing. And it's all churning through them all. And when it's done, I jump in. And sure enough, we've got double, 128 of them. Pretty cool. And as a side note, to make these things, you just make them through the enrichment chamber. That's the easiest way. Just make an enrichment chamber, give it some power, plop those down. We get tons of these from sifting. Dust, get tons of them. 35% chance, so you're going to get tons and tons through the amethyst or the mana steel. Pretty cool. So at this point, I'm going to jump up here, and I'm going to put a few of them in here, just because. And I think I can actually feed them in just by going like that. Let's see. Yep, pops out. And these can only be fed in through the sides, and this way, the power can come from the top. And then you can filter things out if you want to filter it. But it looks like it's working. And then it pops out over here. And you'll need one of these with the different inscribers, so go ahead and make them. Oh, it kind of presses it together. Kind of neat. And at that point, you should be in good shape. I'll throw these back in our system. You should be in good shape to actually make this. There's no reason why you can't have it up and running. And you'll be able to use it, and it's great. And you just pop it on here, and I just toss it right there, and I occasionally recharge it, and I have access 48 blocks away. And how you do that, you just put the range upgrades on this wireless transmitter that I stuck on the back of here, and if you want it even further, you'd go 48 units away or 40 units away with one of these wires, one of the cables from Refined Storage, and then stick one of those on there with another 48 worth of upgrades on the range, and you could bury it underground even, and then it extends your range over there, extends your range over there. Pretty cool. Now there's another way to go about this, so you don't have to sit here and crank stacks and stacks of these, and that's with a Tesla coil. If you put those Certus quartz on this Tesla coil and give it power, you're going to be able to make these charged crystals. You might be able to make other things. I haven't figured that out. And if you guys know of things that you can put on here to have it do stuff to it, that would be great, because I would like that. I've been looking and I just can't find anything. So let's go and figure out how to make this. Oh boy. This was a tough one. So I get the recipe for it, and I go, wait a second. It's a bunch of crafting things. It's not the right pattern. It's a 4x3, but only 10 things. That's going to be interesting. So I jumped up here. This is what I made. These mechanical crafters, and I placed it in the exact same pattern. We also have a wrench. So here's the wrench. You can turn these just by going like that, and see how it points to the right, points up, points to the left. Well, all these have to point, when you put all these items in here in the right spots, they all have to point like to converge. So this one goes down, this one comes in, this one comes in, that goes down, and all these come over. And I'm going to show you how that happens. So let's start at the beginning. The copper spool, how do you make that? I said, okay. Well, it wants copper wire and an empty spool. How do we make that? And I said, okay, we need to make a rolling mill. Rolling mill is with iron plate and andesite casing. We know how to make the andesite casing. That's just a stripped log, which you just put a regular log down and then strip it down with an axe, and then right-click with some andesite on there. We'll be making that in a second. Maybe some brass casings will do it. Same way to make andesite casings. So let's see. iron plate. We could do it with a hammer and just do it that way. Not bad. So you could do it that way. Or you could do it with a press. Well, I wanted to do it with the press. So I made the andesite casing, the shaft, and the block, and I have one of these right up here. Let's go take a look at it. Here it is. And I wanted to make the iron ones. So let's make some iron plates. We'll just right click and swap those out. And if we look at this system, it is the mechanical press up top with a hand crank. I have the carbuncle. This one I got from a random drop, and it allows me to put it on there. I'll show you the difference here. So there's the iron on there, there's the press, and here's the depot. So you just put it on here, put the crank on the front, and away you go. And I just sat here, but you don't want to do this. So if you have a carbuncle, or if you really want to set up a whole water wheel system or some kind of way to automate this turning, you can do that. And I feed the things in this way. These are all the different things that can be made into plates by this crusher thing, this press. And then on here I put a advanced pipe upgrade, and then I whitelisted, added, like say brass plate. Then I submit it. So it's got a list of things that it can that it'll take out of there. Otherwise, it would remove the iron plates. And here's the work it's been doing. So these iron plates, I don't want to use this crank. So I'm going to break the crank. And we're going to use carbuncle. I had that on my clock, so my clock would work, but now I'm just going to use it on here. And sure enough, this guy is going to do all of this for me. And it just keeps on pulling stuff out and filling this up. It's a beautiful thing. So now, we take a look at this. We can make the empty spools because we got the iron plates now and the iron nugget. We made a bunch of those. That's no problem. But what about that copper wire? It says to put it through a rolling mill. Now the rolling mill, I didn't have two of these, so I have a hand crank on a rolling mill. And in this one, you don't really need a filter thing, which is kind of neat. So I come over here, and what did I need? I need copper. Do I have some copper in here? Sure, why not? And I just let's grab 5 for now. And I come over here, and I feed it in through here. See how that's a different thing where you just use your wrench on there and with the pipe mod. Pulls it out, and then I just right click on this, turn it. Kind of boring, but you just get a bunch of wires. Got the wires. So now we have 3 of these. You make 3 of them, and here's all 3. What about this andesite casing? How can we make that? Let's find out. We're going to go... Oh, you need a piece of andesite, but then we needed... Let's take a look real quick. A brass casing. We know how to make the andesite casing. Let's make a brass casing. We're going to need some of that brass back. Take 12. And let's jump downstairs. And I'm going to pop this right here. And pop that right there. I think what we're going to do is... It's a chest. There we go. So I just lay them all down. And if I take this, and I can do vein mine, but I'm going to vein mine it with just this and right click once. Turns it all into stripped. And then I should be able to just right click on here with the brass. Sure enough. Perfect. And then I vein mine this. And we've got a bunch. Not bad at all. And we needed just 1 here. So we're going to put this back in our system. Let's see. We're going to put this back in its home. And then we're going to toss these casings right back into our mega system. Let's take a look at the next thing. So we're almost there already. We're going to take a look at this. And I'm going to show you how to make brass as well. We need these brass sheets. We need these capacitors. These are easy to do. No problem. Because now we know how to make the sheets. The casings. What about this thing? There's a plate. We can do that with our press. What about this? Enrichment chamber, rose quartz, which is just this, into the enrichment chamber. And then you're able to make these. Perfect. Okay. Well, we're back here to brass because we can make everything else, but we can't make this brass, which is needed for this other stuff. So brass, how do we do this? Oh boy. Taking a look. Centrifuge, no. What about a mixing table? Mixing table, just copper and zinc. And then I look at this picture and I go, oh boy. We need a blaze burner, a bowl, and a mechanical, a basin and a bowl. I hold W down, it shows me this whole picture, and I go, oh boy, this is complicated. I go, okay, let's give it a shot. So right over here, without, all the automated part, I can still hand crank this. Let's take a look at what we got. We've got a blaze burner down there. I'll even pop them out of there just to show you. And let's see if we can poke them out of here. Of course not. There we go. Let's go like this. So we have a blaze burner. Well, how do we make that? We make an empty blaze burner. Okay, how do we make that? Nether rack we can get. That's easy to do, but how do we get the blaze in there? Well, we know from an earlier episode that you can make a fell blaze. So let's find out how to do that. We're going to use our remote grid. We're just going to connect these two by, you can link these two things by going like this. It starts out in the normal mode, so if you type here, this doesn't change, but I want it to be synced up. There. So let's go fell. How do we make this fell pumpkin? With that. So it's just these. We have all that stuff. And now I have a fell pumpkin. Perfect. We're going to need 2 iron bars. And we're going to need a spot to do it in. Let's go do it. Well, we can do it right here. Why not? Let's be adventurous. Oh boy. You're going to have 2 of these, just like this. And then as soon as you put this fell pumpkin head on top of them, a fell blaze is going to spawn. And then you're going to use your empty blaze burner and right click on them and put them right in there. We don't have one, so let's do this. Just to be ready. And here we go. Oh, and perfect. Nice. Oh, we got some stuff from them. And now we'd have the fell blaze burner. We've got that part down. So let's go back upstairs. And we're going to pop that down right below him. And then I was like, oh boy, how do I get him to eat? That was a little bit tricky, but I figured out where you just take a block of coal or something that burns like that. And I was trying to feed it into it, like with pipes, but no, you just right click on it. And now look, it's an 800-second burn time for him. He'll burn for 800 seconds with a nice big block of charcoal. Sounds good. Then I made the basin bowl. That was easy. And the mechanical mixer. I put a cog right next to it with a little turner thing. And as soon as you turn it just once, it starts. And it'll go for quite a long time. I don't know if that's a bug, but it just goes. So I said, okay, that's fine. So then I feed in copper and zinc. And then it shows you, if you look at it, it's got 16 copper and 16 zinc in there. And then I did a filter on the withdrawal for brass, so it won't, otherwise it would sit there and take all the copper and zinc out. And it just sits there and makes that for me. And the brass I turn into the brass sheets and the brass casings, and we should be in good shape. Let's toss that in there. Should I put this right here? Let's see if we can. Yeah, why not? And then I can just feed them like that. I just walk over, right click, or left click, and then right click. And now he's back up to happy and feeding. Pretty cool. So we're getting really close to making this. I'm going to put it down over here and look up like this. This is how I feed this thing in. It's a depot. Then I look at the top up there and I right click here. Oh, not wrong. Sorry. And then I right click here. Shift right click? Yeah, shift right click looking at the top of that points it down. It gets fed from that, and I put charcoal up there. block of charcoal into that. That battery feeds that, and we can just sit there and put stacks of the Certus quartz on there, and it turns it into that purple stuff. Or they add that stuff that we throw in the pool. So, moment of truth. I came down here, and I had to went through. You saw that whole mess yesterday where it was just all outside, and it looked terrible. But you make the mechanical crafters. You make 10 of them, and then you make sure you make a wrench from Create. Easy to do. Gold plates. And you point everything like this. So it's pointed just like that. And then the last one's pointed at this depot to spit out the final product. So let's go take a look at how we're powering this thing. It needs enough power to actually work. And for mine, it took 2 water wheels. Let's go take a look up here. And we'll take a couple of buckets of water too. Just like that. So I've got a source block of water right here. And then right away it stops. It doesn't have enough power to keep going. And then I've got another one right there. So I placed, I'm going to do this slow so you guys can take a look and copy it if you want. These are all right here in the same pattern. Then I put a small cogwheel facing this way and another one to give this enough room. I think I could have maybe moved this over one, and then this wouldn't have needed to be there. But then you end up with an issue of the water running out, so I didn't like that. So I just moved it over one more. And so I faced these two up, just like that. And then I put a large cogwheel there that's connected to this one with a shaft in the middle, and then a cogwheel connected to the shaft, and another cog connected to there. And to get it to work, to run, you kind of look down and you notice that these are slightly pointed this way. So if the water's running over them that way, from left to right and around, it'll be better. It'll actually produce power. So I aim down there, not at this one, at the one on the bottom, and that starts spinning all the way around. It gets all the way back to here. That's good. And then this one doesn't quite get as far, but it still is enough to get it to power. Oh, and it starts to power. So let's put these away. Go for the moment of truth. Now, I have noticed online that sometimes you need a redstone pulse, so you might put like a lever right here and then flip the lever. We're going to find out if that's the case right now. So let's put our weapon away. We'll put our wrench away because it's all facing the right direction. And we're going to move these things into their locations, just so that I can put everything in the spots. Just like that. So we know the first. Let's just do it like that. A little cheesy. So, one, right click there, right click there. Looks, oh, it's already doing something. That's not good. Let's do this over. It spit it out. Oh, I see the problem. Okay. Let's fix it. That I must have, I don't know why I did that. Let's go like that and like that. And if we put this one here, that one there, that one there, is it going to do it? No, that's good. So it didn't move this time. Weird. I thought I had it right. Anyways, let's go on to the next item. Put it right in line. So the next item goes right here, according to the pattern. And the capacitor on that side, capacitor on this side, casing there, a brass sheet on this side, a brass sheet on that side. I think if we put it here, it should start doing something. They all lit up. It's starting to move in. Good, good, good. This is coming down. And very, very cool. Looking good so far. It should go right over here. And now you have a Tesla coil. Boom, and it spits it out for us. Pretty cool. And we'll just jump up here, and then you'd put it there, and you can make your Certus Quartz, the Fluix this way, charge it up. Beautiful thing. And everything's running, and I can just put some more of this on here. Give my blaze burner some extra juice. This guy's cranking along. This guy's cranking along. Not really, but this one is. We're in good shape. So I hope that helps you guys. Create is, I've never used it before, so making it do stuff is pretty cool. It takes up a lot of room, though, which is weird. Maybe if I get into the mechanical or the engines that actually turn the cranks instead of these big contraptions, that'll be better. But I hope that helps. And if you guys like these videos, go ahead and subscribe and comment or like the videos. That just encourages me to make more of these. But I do have fun with these. It's really neat when everything works out. This is kind of nice too. The metallurgic infusers. I've got one that just does the coal, and it feeds in. This one does redstone. This is one for diamond and obsidian. And that way I don't have to dump these things out. It's all just going. Put the product in at the top. Spits it out at the bottom. What is this? Oh, enriched. I think we can turn this into... If I put it through again, I can turn that into steel by enriching it twice with the coal. What is that called? Carbon. Coal. The inscriber's back here. This is just powered by blocks of charcoal, and I can feed charcoal in with my ender chest system just by feeding this one and not really worry about it as well. But so far so good. Pretty cool. What do we got up here? I was gonna put this here. I thought I was on the right level, but I wasn't. So I've got some more space here. And pretty cool. Take a look at if anything's changed over here. Working on this still, figuring out what I'm going to do with all that. This is getting really ridiculous. I've been testing out different lights. It's a lot of them. That one's been growing, but that one hasn't been growing. I've been getting way too many bees. Every time I find a bee, I imagine I'm going to need them in the future, so I've been tying them off, and the crows too. Not sure why I have so many crows. Been messing around with different decorations. Got this whole area. Probably going to expand this out so that I get more, expand this out this way and then put more fluid tanks out. Maybe even go upgrade to the next level. Let's see if this is working smoothly. Inputs there. There's no backups. We've got 0 on all of these now. No duplicates. I can get rid of these 2 duplicates because it worked through the backlog. And is it working? Let's see. Uh-oh. Oh, that one's working. Is this one working? Yep. Is this one working? Gold. Let's see if he comes by with some gold. Behind us should be a gold. Oh, there's the gold, so just pick that one. Oh my gosh. Oh boy. What the? Yikes. Oh, I wanna fight that guy, but not yet. Let's see. I gotta get the deep learner out. Let's see. How do I do this? Let's go deep learner. If I just click him, will it actually learn it? No. Oh, maybe I gotta go like this and then deep learner spider. And then because right now, deep learner with the spider. Maybe take all these out and just put the spider in there. Because it's still faulty. Oh, it's got 1. Let's see if it goes up to 2. Here we go. And deep learner. What? I got somebody's head. 2. That's nice. Oh gosh. Well, let's go find out if it has a space for 4 of these. So why doesn't it? Why doesn't it work? I think that's a zombie. 1, 0, 0. Let's go see. Where are they? Oh, it's a skeleton. So let's kill the skeleton. And did the skeleton thing go up? Oh, I don't have a skeleton one. And is there... Oh, there's a creeper over there. Let's go work on that creeper. Oh, and there's a spider, so let's see if I kill that. Oh, and a zombie. And a creeper. Ah, don't explode. Oh my gosh. Oh, it doesn't blow up a hole? That's nice of them. And let's see what we got. Because I want to get these up to their, the deep learner is right at. We got 1, 3 now. That's good. Cool. So I'll just have to add the skeleton one as soon as possible as well. And I purposely left this area so that it could spawn stuff in occasionally. Because I was getting so much product. It was really good. So I hope that helps. And if you guys have any questions, please go ahead and ask. And so far, so good. Lots of stuff done. So much stuff. And we're just scraping the surface of this. I've also been looking at, what is it called? RegTech New Horizon. Now, I thought the other pack that I was doing was really, really complicated and difficult. Well, I think I found a pack that's the hardest by far. It's probably 10 times harder than the other one. So I'm tempted to try that one too. We'll see. Have a good one and enjoy. What's this? What do I do? I'm going to eat this thing. I haven't ate one of these yet. Bad for you? Oh, that's not good. 2 seconds of poison. Not bad. Now it counts as being eaten.